7.
That is so great.
Hopefully more every day. It's part of the fundraiser, so some of the proceeds go back to the. You're welcome.
Learning who everybody is that's getting propped up here.
Yeah.
Did you want to take that roster? Oh, no. Okay, good.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, I'll probably try to grab something to eat. I think there's like a food truck down there. Yeah, definitely some options. Yeah, I think that's why those 20-minute spots are there for that food truck. That's why I wanted to get out of there. Yeah. But once I went back down the second time, people were leaving from the first game, so it wasn't really. Wilson? Oh, I didn't know that. Sure.
Check.
Yeah, there's a timer here.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Wilson
we
High
could
School,
start
future home of
in like a minute if
IFB
you want.
Wells High School. This afternoon, the Jefferson Democrats welcome the visiting Lincoln Cardinals. Here now, the starting defensive lineup for Lincoln. Wearing number 1 and starting at quarterback, Justice Lowell. Wearing number 9, senior cornerback, Mario Ambrose. And defensive end, number 65, junior Riley Prince. Number 57, defensive end, junior Elliot Hendren. At defensive tackle, number 72, senior Nate Paradis. Wearing number 70, junior defensive tackle Tyler Smith. And inside linebacker, number 11, junior Solomon Wells. At linebacker, number 8, junior Brady Kopitz. Wearing number 23, sophomore linebacker Kusha Shady.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wilson High School, where today we have the privilege of bringing you the Lincoln Cardinals taking on the Wilson Trojans. I'm Shane Downey, joined by Dave Hall. Dave, we weren't sure the season was going to come, but we're happy to be here.
You know, we are starting the football season.
Starting right for your Jefferson
Football
Democrats.
season in March.
Offensive line, number
It's certainly a little different.
All right,
Junior number 53, Kingston.
we're just about ready to go here.
Senior number 67.
All right, so it's a Saturday afternoon, a little different than we're used to. Not the Friday night lights that we're accustomed to throughout the fall season under normal circumstances, but things are going to be a little different this year, and the Lincoln Cardinals opening their season here against the Trojans.
Senior number 7, Trey.
We've covered Lincoln football the last couple of years. I had a chance to go down on the field and talk with Coach Johnson here just a few minutes ago. The Cardinals are very young. They only have 5 seniors on their roster. But Coach Johnson said they're going to let it fly today. They're going to run full offense, they're going to run full defense, and they're going to face a really fast Jefferson team.
My apologies. We are at Wilson High School, but the Lincoln Cardinals not taking on the Wilson Trojans today. We're going to have that for you later this afternoon. It is the Jefferson Democrats here on the near side. They are the home team here today. Lincoln, of course, their stadium's under a little construction right now, so they're going to be bouncing around all season. But the Lincoln Cardinals about to kick off here, kicking right to left in those white jerseys with the red helmets to the Democrats. Line drive kick picked up there at the 22-yard line. Going to get a few yards before taken down by number 33 of the Lincoln Cardinals.
Well, you can't pick that up and run with it when it's down like that. They're going to mark that ball back where he picked it up.
All right, there they do. And starting at quarterback is the senior Mario Ambrose, for the Lincoln Cardinals. Of course, Lincoln will be starting on defense here today.
1st and 10, Jefferson from the Demo, 22-yard line.
Democrats will start at their own 22-yard line on the near side. And the season is underway.
It looks like at quarterback for Jefferson, that looks to be number 5.
Here's a snap and the first play of the day from scrimmage. And we have our first penalty. Starting at quarterback is Dondre Fair Jr.
And he is a junior.
He is indeed 6 foot 185. And one thing you pointed out before the game, Dave, a lot bigger size overall on the Jefferson roster.
I went down the roster, and Jefferson has 10 players at least 260 pounds, a couple in the 300 range. Lincoln has 2. Also, Lincoln has 5 seniors. Jefferson has 12.
Some movement costs Lincoln 5 yards there. It'll be first down and 5 to go for the Democrats. Just underway here, first quarter. A cloudy day, a little bit of wind here on this Saturday afternoon. You know, we've had some frigid temperatures in the fall. Not too bad here starting in March. Here's a handoff going to the far side, turns the corner, gains a few, not quite enough for a first down, just shy of the 30-yard line. It'll be about 2.5 to go here on second down for Jefferson. Jefferson with those white helmets, black jerseys with the blue numbers on the back, the gold trim, white stripe down the side of those black pants.
Coach Johnson said that the Cardinal will be in a 4-3 defense and cover 2.
3 men in the backfield here, and they do hand it off to the tailback, who finds his way up the middle. That's going to be enough for a first down. Up to the 36-yard line. First and 10.
Using some of those big blockers inside. First down of the game goes to the Democrats.
Charles Wilmot got the tackle on defense for the Cardinals, and I know he's expected to be one of the standouts on offense, so already getting the job done on the defensive side for the Cardinals. We see some finger pointing and a flag here. Looks like it could be movement on the offense, as they're already backing up before the official call.
The most important thing when there's movement is to point the finger at somebody.
Sometimes that gets the job done, sometimes not so much. You got to love when they're both finger pointing on both sides. So.
Exactly.
All comes down to what the referees see down there. I'm sure they've been eager to get started as well. Here's a handoff. Finds some running room. Just about to the original line of scrimmage, getting those penalty yards back.
Good penetration that time by Wilmot. Tripped up the ball carrier. Gets back to about the original line of scrimmage, and it'll be 2nd and 10. Just to let you know, this is a production of Oregon Sports Beat.
Later this afternoon, we'll be bringing you the Wilson game.
Wilson and Roosevelt.
Dondre Fair awaits the snap. Wide receiver split on each side, 2 on the near side, and 1 in movement now. Takes the handoff, gets around the corner, just about 2 yards. Nice tackle there by the defense. It was Trajan Williams, the wide receiver, taking the ball.
Well, you love to see those hard driving tackles like Lincoln just made on that play.
3rd down. Jefferson
3rd down and 8.
taking a few minutes off the clock here so far in their first possession. 3rd and 8. 3 receivers on the near side. Quarterback drops back, looking over the middle, now scrambling. Incomplete on the far side of the field, and it'll be 4th down.
Our first pass attempt of the game, incomplete. bring up a punting situation for the Jefferson Democrats.
And just as I was saying that it wasn't a bad day and starting in March might not be so bad, the rain starts to trickle down.
That's not good.
Just a little bit.
We're not undercover, and we've got all this electronic equipment.
Yeah, the circumstances, of course, everybody trying to be safe. We are outdoors in the stands here. Punt upcoming. High snap, handles it, and it may have gotten tipped there at the line. Goes straight up in the air, takes a friendly bounce for Jefferson, and is going to be stopped at about the 32-yard line. So all things considered, with the tip, not a bad punt as far as yardage for the Democrats.
When that ball came down, it was going to be an 11-yard punt and then got a friendly roll. Turns out to be a 28-yard punt for the Democrats.
So now we will get to see what Mario Ambrose has in store for the Lincoln Cardinal offense. One of just a few seniors on this Lincoln Cardinal roster.
Actually, I think Ambrose is a no, you're right. He is a senior.
Man in motion and a whistle. And this possession starts similarly to how Jefferson did.
Coach Johnson said, we're going to open up the offense. We're going to let it fly. They were in that kind of formation, and they had receivers wide left and right. They had a slot receiver, one setback.
Let's see which way this is going. No official call just yet. As you see, referees huddling there at the 30-yard line. They're going to pick up the flag.
There is no penalty on the play. Still 1st and 10.
So don't see that too often, but 1st and 10, we'll try again. Ambrose under center. Man in motion. Fake the handoff, and they do hand it off to the man in the backfield who goes up the middle. It's number 8, Brady Kopetz. Kopetz, one of the bigger players on the roster. He stands in at 6'4", 215. In fact, scanning the roster real quick, he is the tallest player on the squad. So shows off his power there.
Gain of 4, 2nd down and 6.
And this time they hand it off, coming around the corner on the near side. And a nice tackle there by the Jefferson defense. It was Charles Wilmot, the ball carrier. It'll be 3rd down.
Charles Wilmot, the ball carrier.
A gain of 1.
Caleb Harvey with the stop for the Democrats.
Just your pretty standard fly sweep that time.
You can see they have the option to hand it off to Kopetz out of the backfield or Wilmot when he's on the move on that play. Now from the near hash, receivers on the far side. Drops back, looking that way, has a man, Wilmot, but out of his reach. Mario Ambrose, his first pass attempt is incomplete, and Lincoln on their first offensive possession of the season will go 3 and out.
And Wilmot was clear. Had he caught that ball, and it was only about a yard overthrown, he was on his way. First punt of the game for the Cardinal.
I know you had a chance to talk with head coach Jeremy Johnson. Did you get any sort of sense of what the preparation for this season has been like and the difference of what a normal season would be?
Well, you know, it was only 2 weeks ago that they pretty much decided they were going to play, and then it snowed. They told me they have not practiced very much.
Yeah, you do see some rust here potentially. And here's the snap, and there's a whistle. This could work out in Lincoln's favor, maybe.
You know, think about that. Normally, kids start getting ready in like August for games that start in September. These kids didn't even know they were going to play until 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, certainly a tough ask. The penalty is on Lincoln, so It will still be 4th down. Still expecting a punt here.
It looks like Nate Paradis is going to punt, number 72.
He is one of the few seniors, as I mentioned, I believe just 5 overall on this roster. Takes the snap. It's an end-over-end kick. Takes a bounce at the 48, now across midfield, and it's picked up there. Evades a tackle into the 45, taken down, and that was number 1, Trajan Williams on the return. Gets about 7 yards.
Each team has a punt chain, and both of the punts have gone a long way. It's just that the way they've gone was up in the air.
Little too vertical, perhaps, on that kick, and Jefferson will have excellent starting field position now in Lincoln territory at the 45.
So the Cardinal first possession, 5 net yards. 1 first down in this game, and it was on Jefferson's first possession.
One thing that's notable as well, for those of you watching at home, if you can see both sidelines, the numbers game, Jefferson simply has more players. And we've seen this in years past where Lincoln had more players than Jefferson. So the tables have turned a little bit.
Exactly. We've seen years when Jefferson barely could get enough players, and I think the minimum is 25. It looks like they got maybe double that today.
15 yards from where the ball is placed makes it 1st and
And we
10.
have a penalty on the kick. There was perhaps some extracurriculars on that tackle at the end of that play there. And they tack on a 15-yard, I believe, personal foul penalty. So what I said just a moment ago was excellent field position. Turns out to be tremendous.
What's the next adjective up from exceptional?
We could break out the thesaurus.
We could.
From the 30-yard line, here's the snap. Fake the handoff. Under pressure, and he's going down. Sacked.
Well, let's see who that is. That's 89, Graham Josie.
Graham Joshi also playing on both sides of the ball, as many of these players do. Defensive lineman.
Got back about half of that 15 they lost on the penalty.
And there was nothing really the quarterback Fair could do on that play. He was under pressure almost immediately.
So far what I've noticed, the Cardinals are getting great penetration in the middle of the line.
So back to the 35-yard line, 2nd and 15. Man in motion, fake the handoff, now to the man in the backfield, up the middle, powers his way up to the 25, maybe the 24-yard line, so an 11-yard carry
Jamison with the carry.
by Jamison.
You know, you got those cutters going in front of the quarterback and kind of draws defenders. And as the quarterback turns around, he hands off to the fullback behind him. Nice gain that time of 11.
3rd down, though. Let's see if Lincoln can come up with a stop. And as always with high school football, you never really know if they're capable of a field goal from this part of the field. And the ball is loose, and they're going to wisely just fall on it, but that will back things up a little more. And the handoff, they just couldn't handle that transfer there.
Well, a field goal now would be about 45 yards.
So this is a situation maybe at higher levels of play. You would see a field goal attempt here, but likely to just go for it here on 4th down, despite it being 4th and long. But we will wait and see. Looks like a normal offensive setup.
Both wide receivers and slot receivers.
Here's the snap. They're going to throw. Going over the middle, deep, but way overthrown, incomplete. Looking for a flag is the intended receiver. That was number 3, Demir Collins. But no flag to be seen, and it'll be a turnover on down. So you do have to give some credit to the Lincoln defense there, who had to start in a tough spot from their own 30-yard line, but able to get the ball back without any points on the board.
You know, Fair was under pressure, and he stood his ground, but he took a big hit when he let that ball go from Gus Togney.
Now you may be able to hear it. The wind's starting to pick up here. What was a beautiful day about an hour ago, it's starting to get a little chilly. So Lincoln will take over with 4:52 on the clock here in the first quarter. Still no score. Neither offense able to move down the field too much thus far. Handoff up the middle. Looked like Wilmot on the carry. Or excuse me, Jack Franzen. Jack Franzen gets the carry for a few yards. Second down upcoming.
We only have one first down in this game, and that's the one lone first down Jefferson got on their first drive.
And we have some cardboard cutouts in the stands. You may have seen those, as the ball carrier this time is number 8. Brady Kopetz trying to get a few more on the near side. But I'm sure everyone's watched some other sports that has seen cardboard cutouts in the stands, and a few were made here, but they have toppled over, unfortunately, due to the wind. Third and 4. Let's see if the Cardinals can manage to get a first down here on their second possession, as the rain is starting to fall as well. And in motion, and takes the ball, tries to turn the corner on the far side. He's going to be short of the first down. It'll be fourth down, and expecting to see another punt here from the Lincoln offense.
That was Justin Lowe on the carry. And a gain of maybe 1.
So Lincoln's offense perhaps showing a little bit of rust, like we said just a moment ago. Not too much practice time. Just a few weeks ago, getting the call to let them know we were going to play a season this year, and it was coming soon. And then, of course, the only snow of the entire winter for Portland. Fingers crossed we don't get any more anytime soon. Prevented them from practicing. So here's a kick. This one looks better than the last. It takes a bounce inside the 30 and will be touched there at about the 24-yard line.
I noticed on those punts by Paradis, I don't know if you saw that or not, but most punters hold the ball with both hands, put it out in front, drop it and kick it. Paradis holds it with one hand and lets it go and then kicks it. So I don't know that I've seen that before.
A little different, but it got the job done.
Nearing the end of the first quarter, 2:29 left to go.
Still no score. Jefferson will get the ball for the third time. They won the toss and elected to receive to start the ball game.
I thought the weather report said no rain until late tonight.
We were not so lucky.
And it looks like we're going to punt again. Lincoln penalized 5 yards on that play, and Paradis will go back to punt again. Let's see if he does that again. He holds the ball with one hand.
So Jefferson accepts this penalty because it was a pretty good punt overall.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right.
So yeah, they're going to try again here.
Okay, watch Paradis now. See if he holds that ball with one hand.
That can be a little dangerous if you
could be
lose
real
grip,
dangerous.
especially with the water coming down now.
Let's see.
Good snap, and you're right, the one-handed kick, but this might get additional yardage, and the penalty works out for Lincoln. Well, let's see, there's a return.
Did he touch that ball as it was coming down?
It almost looked like it, but he's taken down right about where the spot of the original punt would have been. So Jefferson will start at their own 25, maybe 26-yard line, going left to right now.
We've played almost 10 minutes, and in those 10 minutes, we have 1 first down. And it was on the first couple of plays of the game.
That is true. In years past, we've seen Lincoln be a high-scoring offense. But so far, the start of the, are we calling this the 2021 season? 2020, 2021, like they do in NBA, kind of crosses over?
I kind of view this as the 20 season.
Okay.
Speaking of
Because presumably they'll be playing again in the fall. Maybe they push that back a little. I don't know. We'll see.
When I think of high-powered Lincoln offenses, I think of Nate Osmo, and he's playing running back now in Montana.
All right, here's a
look out
all up the middle, quarterback keeper, and that should be enough for a first down. Looks like 10 yards on the carry.
Wilmot was slow getting up.
Andre Fair Jr. with the snap.
Can't tell.
Goes up the middle for 10.
Holding his right forearm.
Still remaining on the field, though, so it must not be too concerning. Fair takes the snap. Looks like he's going to keep it again and is driven back in the backfield, but stays on his feet, turns the corner on the far side, and that might be enough for another first down. Looks like he was knocked down just shy of the first down marker, but you got to give Fair credit on that one because it looked like he was going to get taken down in the backfield, but turned it into a positive play.
He was rocked on that initial tackle, knocked him back a couple of yards, and he just made a side step, turned the corner, and picked up all that yardage.
So nice job by Fair. It'll be second down. Although there was a flag on the play, excuse me.
And it's going to be against Jefferson.
So they're going to back it up.
So a 9-yard carry by Fair, nullified by the penalty.
As the rain continues to fall here. Dave, I always knew you were the smart one. You brought gloves. I did not.
Well, I've already done 2 games, 2 soccer games, and they were night games out in the cold. I've got 2 pairs of socks on, 2 pairs of pants.
You are well prepared. Fair has the snap, and we have another flag. Lots of penalties here, but as we talked earlier, not a lot of practice. So we're going to see these things throughout the day, I imagine.
And it's not unusual at the beginning of a season to see execution penalties, offsides, false starts.
This is against Jefferson once again. It is a false start. Back it up 5 yards. So it's still first down, but first and long.
Still first down, the ball at the 26-yard line.
The clouds are coming that way, and I see blue again. Let's hope that's coming this way.
.107 remaining on the clock here in the first quarter. First game of the season, starting in March. Handoff outside the numbers now, across the 40, has some open room, 50, 40, tries to get a tackle in, but that's gonna go all the way. Collins with the touchdown. What is that, 74 yards, Dave?
74 yards on the touchdown.
Well, we have our first points of the ball game. It comes on a huge play by Demir Collins. Once he got to that sideline, he turned on the Jets. A couple Lincoln Cardinals couldn't quite handle the tackle there on the sideline. And it's 6 points on the board here with 53 seconds remaining here in the first quarter.
Well, that's all of our offense for the first quarter. Collins with a 74-yard run, point after.
Extra point attempt. It's up and good. Looks like number 21 was the quick kicker. That's Montreal Brazil Jr.
You know what they say, speed kills, and that time it did. Collins had great speed. Once he got to the outside, he ran by the linebackers, ran by the corners, and ran by the safety.
So Jefferson has something to be excited about on their sideline. Points on the board. You have to imagine these youngsters are just thrilled to be out on the field.
Head coach for the Jefferson Democrats is Houston Dillard. I'm going to tell you, it's great to be back doing football, but I miss fans, I miss cheerleaders, I miss the band.
Yeah, it's certainly a different environment, but we're privileged to bring all the people that, of course, maybe would be in attendance under normal circumstances and are watching from home.
You know,
Happy to bring you this coverage.
Major League Baseball is going to start in about 3 weeks, and I heard they're going to allow 20,000 fans in per game.
Yeah, I think that all depends on local rules. So every stadium will be a little different as far as capacity is concerned, as this is picked up behind the 5-yard line, and Lincoln will start at about the 15.
No, there's a fumble, and I think Jefferson's saying they got it.
Yeah, it looks like they may have, as they're pumped up there. We do have a late flag that might just be for the celebration. Now there's another flag. The flags are coming late on this play. The ball is spotted at the 15, and it looks like Jefferson has possession.
First game for the players, first game for us, first game for the referees, too.
We do want to take a moment while this is getting sorted out to tell you about some of our sponsors. When you want the highest quality meats, seafood, and sandwiches, come into Phil's Meat Market and Delicatessen, Portland's original neighborhood butcher shop located in the Uptown Shopping Center on Northwest 23rd Place and Burnside.
This is going to come back. Let's see where it's coming back to.
The flags came so late, I feel like it has to be.
Right, Jefferson was already headed off the field when the first flag went down.
Well, the Cardinals have the ball, so clearly we were basing a little too much on the excitement. We talked earlier about the finger pointing. You can't quite always trust it.
The ruling had to be the ball was down. The penalty had to be a personal foul after it was down.
And the ball's loose again. Looks like Lincoln recovered. Ambrose dropped it and then wisely just falls on it.
So on that previous play, what I was talking about, what they ruled was the ball carrier was down and there was a foul then, and somebody stripped the ball away from the ball carrier laying on the ground, and that drew the personal foul.
That all makes sense. The only thing that's a little odd is the timing of when we saw the flags. 2 men in the backfield. Ambrose drops back, airs it out, near side, has a man, and it's caught. Dragged down at the 20-yard line. It's Ambrose to Justice Lowe.
44 yards on that pass completion, Ambrose to Lowe. And that was the end of the first quarter.
So the Cardinals ended the first quarter with a bang, trailing by a touchdown, but now just outside of the red zone to end the first quarter after that big catch and run by Lowe, the junior.
It was a nice throw by Ambrose, too. His first completion of the game goes for 44 yards to Lowe.
Gives us another moment to tell you about our sponsors. When you are making as major a financial decision as buying a home, you want it done with the best. John Bruce of Guild Mortgage has been supporting the Lincoln football community and providing mortgages for over 20 years. Call him today at 503-635-8997. Go Cardinal football. Make it happen.
While you were doing the commercial read there, the referees marched back to the original line of scrimmage. I don't know what that means. They've set the ball down there. There must be a penalty on the play.
I think we were just switching sides of the field, right? Because they spotted it right at the 21.
There we go. Because the play was from the 28 to the 28.
Yeah, it does look a little funny.
Right, right. It looked a little funny, but now you're right. They moved it. They switched into the field.
So Lincoln will be going left to right now as we start the second quarter.
Lincoln will begin the second quarter, 1st and 10, at the Democrats' 21-yard line, following the 50-yard pass completion.
All right, they give credit 50 yards on the completion from Ambrose to Justin Lowe.
Wilmot in motion, and we have a flag. Lots of penalties here.
Lots of penalties.
Jefferson penalized 5 yards for encroachment.
Looks like encroachment on Jefferson, and it'll be 1st and 5. And Lincoln will be in the red zone for the first time here today.
By the way, that was Lincoln's first down of the game. Each team now, after one quarter, has one first down.
All right, scratch that. It was offsides on the Cardinals, so instead of 1st and 5, it's 1st and 15. Wilmot in motion again. Kopets with the keeper, and it's dragged down. No, the ball is loose, and now it's being run back. It was Ambrose with the keeper. My apologies. The ball comes loose, and they run it back across midfield. And we're just trading big plays back and forth all of a sudden.
Not only are we trading big plays, both teams are having trouble hanging on to the ball.
It's dried up a little bit. Rain not coming down really at all anymore, but we did have some sprinkles. You have to wonder if that's playing a role at all. So if you remember how that possession started, Jefferson thought they recovered the ball on the kickoff. Lincoln maintained possession. Lincoln has a huge 50-yard pass, and then a penalty, and a sack and a fumble.
Lincoln
Jefferson
now with
recovers.
two turnovers.
And now a timeout by Jefferson. So couldn't quite get onto the field and get set to go before needing to call a timeout. The head coach is Houston Lillard for the Jefferson Democrats. Let's tell you about some more of our sponsors. Washman, unlimited transactionless car washes, only $39.99 per month with Armor All Tire Shine and Clear Ceramic Seal Ultra Shine and Protection. Wash it at Washman. Car washes today.
Well, after the snow, I did go to Washman.
Can't blame you. Looks like we got time for one more. Founded in 1984, Trailblazer Foods is one of the Western United States' largest producers of preserves, jellies, and other sweetener and fruit-based products. Trailblazer Foods wishes Lincoln Cardinal football great success for 2021. Call them today at 503-666-5800 or check them out online at trailblazerfoods.com.
Game has gotten sloppy. Coach Lillard, that might have been his opportunity to just kind of settle his team down.
And if you're Lincoln, you're still trailing by just one score. Despite the couple turnovers and what's one more, we have another penalty here before the snap. Sun's starting to peek through those clouds above us. Feels nice. No
All right,
complaints here.
My favorite color today, blue.
Blue skies. Let's see more of it. This penalty goes against the Lincoln Cardinals.
Kind of a sloppily played game so far.
Certainly. Quarterback drops back, looking to his left, now airs it out over the middle. He has a man. It's incomplete off the hands. And picked up by his teammate.
And he was wide open about 5 yards behind the defenders. The ball was on the money. Hit him on the hands. Should have come up with that.
Caleb Harvey, number 9, the intended receiver, stands in at 6'3", and that was in his reach. It's not like it was overthrown, just couldn't quite haul it in.
Harvey comes to the sideline. Coach pats him on the back. Next time. It was a good throw by Fair.
So 2nd and 5 now after the long incompletion. You know, 1 second I'm wishing I brought a bigger jacket, as here's a handoff on the outside near the first down marker, but knocked out of bounds. I was saying one second I'm wishing I brought my gloves and a better jacket, and now I'm wishing I brought sunglasses all of a sudden. Gotta love Oregon in the springtime. Not quite officially spring, but are we calling this spring football?
You know, I'm not sure.
It's pretty close.
And there's going to be no champion crowned this football season. There'll be no championship playoffs.
So why don't you explain that to the audience? Are we just playing the regular season games? Because the schedule is abbreviated. Five games on the schedule.
Each team's going to play 6 games. They'll play the 5 games that are on the schedule, and then at the end, they'll kind of play a game where they can play somebody. You know, the thought is maybe the conferences will get together and play off sort of like a bowl game or something.
Fair was under pressure and somehow completes a pass. No, they're saying incomplete. My apologies. It was bobbled. I thought he pulled it in and then went out of bounds, but they're going to rule it incomplete.
To expound on what I was saying there, they'll play the 5 games, and then maybe the team with the best record in the Metro Conference will play the team with the best record in the PIL, kind of as an extra game, and they'll schedule those when it's all over. Teams at the bottom of the divisions can play each other. So there'll be a 6 game for each team. It's just not a scheduled game right now.
So it'll be similar to bowl games, honestly,
Exactly.
in college football.
Exactly.
So fourth down. 11:23 on the clock, just underway here in the second quarter. We want to thank you for joining us here on Oregon Sports Beat. We'll be bringing you lots of PIL action here this season, and we have another game upcoming after this one. We're going to be playing on the same field, Wilson and Roosevelt.
The Democrats had the wrong players in. Coach Dillard was yelling and not getting any response and had to take another timeout. So Democrats charged, I think this is their second timeout in the last 37 seconds.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
I mean, we're only 37 seconds into the second half, although it seems like we played 4 or 5 minutes. There have been so many penalties.
Yeah, the pace certainly not the highest here in this first game of the season.
There was clearly the wrong player package on the field that time, and Coach Lillard was yelling at his team to switch players. And, of course, they were worried the ball was going to get snapped. Nobody was moving. He just took a timeout. Remember, most of these teams have had like 2 weeks of practice.
Well, it's 4th down and 5, but the offense is on the field. So this could be potentially a big stop for Lincoln if they're able to pull it off. Fair in the shotgun, has the snap, looks to his left, has a man in the flat. It's caught there, but tackled by Wilmot. And that will be a turnover on downs.
Democrats stacked the receivers over here on the left. They had trip receivers left. They thought they were going to get the ball and get some blockers over here. Wilmot just cut right through him and tackled the receiver, and the Cardinal will take over on downs at midfield.
Wilmot skipped that one out.
Actually, inside Democrat territory at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, so second straight possession for Lincoln. Well, I wanted to say they would start with good possession, but they didn't necessarily start with good field position last time, but it was that 50-yard pass that put them in the red zone. But this time, from the 43-yard line on the near hash, going left to right, just down a score. Quarterback drops back now, rolling to his left. airs it out and coming back for it, but incomplete. An underthrown ball throwing across his body was Mario Ambrose. That's a tough thing to do.
I'm not sure, and maybe you can help me on this. That might have been the first time that Ambrose took a snap directly from center. He wasn't back behind in a shotgun formation. He took the snap directly from center.
I think I've seen that before.
Okay.
Throughout the game. But either way, that's a tough pass. And quite frankly, he's fortunate that there wasn't a defender closer to that ball because it floated up there for a while.
It's what people used to call a wounded duck.
Quarterback under center here. Wilmot in motion. They hand it off to him. Gets around to the outside edge. Spins. Pushes forward across the 40. Up to the 38-yard line. It didn't look like Wilmot had much room to work with at the start of that play, but turns it into about 5 yards.
Well, the way he did that, he made a great spin move. He was going to be tackled for a loss and made a spin move and turned it into a big gain.
3rd down and a long 5. Quarterback hands it off up the middle, but that's going to fall short. Kopetz up to the 35, and now a decision for the Lincoln Cardinals. You have to imagine they consider going for it here on 4th down, 4th and 2 from the 35.
Kopetz on the carry that time. He's the big back for the Cardinal.
2 for Lincoln at the Demos, 35-yard line.
Cardinals offense stays on the field. Trailing by just a score. Ambrose under center, communicating with his running backs behind him. And another whistle. It's a delay of game, I think.
It is.
Lincoln penalized 5 yards.
That's a tough blow on 4th down. Neither us nor the players, although they are given a warning on the field, we don't have the play clock available.
Right, there's no clock down in each end zone, so the quarterback can look down there and know how many seconds are left. Cardinal took too long that time.
So what was 4th and reasonable, this is going to be a little tougher, but they're still going for it. Drops back, looks to his right, sideline throw, and tipped and intercepted at the 21. Yeah, now running near side, has some room, and knocked out of bounds is number 1 for the Democrats. That's Trajan Williams. We've seen him make plays on both sides of the ball. He tips it into his own mitts, and then a nice return by Williams there.
Not a clear interception. The ball was in fact tipped, and Williams came up with it, headed downfield, managed to just kind of tiptoe down the sidelines well into Cardinal territory.
That's a demo 1st down at the Lincoln 39-yard line.
So some costly mistakes. I believe the 3rd turnover of the game for the Lincoln Cardinals. And Democrats will start in Lincoln territory.
.8:49 left to go in the first half. 7-0. Jefferson leads Lincoln.
Fair takes the snap. Looks like he wants to take it himself, runs into some trouble, and is taken down there by Solomon Wells of the defense.
That was a design quarterback draw. Wells stayed in his position in the gap, stepped up, tackled fair.
2 yards and 2nd down and 12.
2nd and 12 upcoming. for Jefferson. And if you're the Lincoln defense, Lincoln's defense has played well here today.
Except for one play.
Yeah, there was that one big play that led to the score and the 7 points on the board. A little bit of a bobble there on the snap, but he has it, finds his man over the middle, and that's a first down.
Just your basic slant pattern, and Fair put it right on the money for a big gain.
Lots of whistles after the play.
I don't see a flag anywhere.
I believe that was number 9 on the reception, Caleb Harvey. He was the one that missed that big pass earlier in the ball game. Those gold outline numbers on the near side, very easy to pick up, but they kind of wash out the further away they get.
Oh, all right, there's the call. I don't know if you can see it or not. Ineligible receiver downfield on Jefferson.
So
They didn't cover a player on the outside.
So that's a 5-yard penalty and negates the big catch over the middle, and both teams with a number of penalties that have been costly. So 3rd and long now. Or I believe it's 2nd down still. Yeah, they changed the line marker. Quarterback drops back, rolls to his left, might keep it himself, runs into Wilmot there on the sideline. Just had nowhere to go. Franzen in on the tackle as well.
So on that play, I didn't see that there was a flag down directly in front of us, but that's what the call was. Ineligible receiver downfield nullified that great slant pattern. Back to the original line of scrimmage, it's 3rd and 10.
Wind has picked up slightly. Sun still peeking through the clouds. Rain staying away at the moment. Near sideline, 3rd and 10. Fair in the shotgun, 3 receivers stacked on the far side. And we have another whistle, and I think this might be delay a game on the Democrats.
It is. You can see the back judge immediately crossed his arms in front of him, delay a game. This is what? That's the 2nd of this penalty. We've had so many penalties in this game. Want to invite our listeners to join us. Shane and I will be back with the 2nd game of a doubleheader at 4 o'clock today. That is Wilson and Roosevelt.
So 3rd and long from the 43-yard line. Dave, I know you mentioned capacity limits for Major League Baseball coming up. California just announced officially yesterday. They, of course, have a number of teams, I believe 5 off the top of my head, that they will be allowing fans from day one, although at very limited capacities. Of course, it depends on what the numbers look like at the time. That could fluctuate over time.
You know, it's heartbreaking for parents who want to see their kids play high school football, not to be able to do it. I know if it were my kid, I'd find some way to sneak on the field and watch.
Don't give them any ideas, Dave. Sacked in the backfield.
I preface that with, if it was my kid.
That was number 23.
Goes down for the Demos at the Jefferson 48-yard line.
All right, Cardinal going to take over on downs. It'll be 1st down at the 48.
Well, this is 4th down upcoming.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We're going to see a punt.
I skipped the punt here.
With the sack on that last play, that was Kusha Mira Bashahi. Apologies if I mispronounced that.
First game of the season.
Here's the punt. Another line drive up in the air. Takes a friendly bounce for the Lincoln Cardinals. And what's the net on that one?
Well, it came down. It didn't get to the line of scrimmage. And I think it's negative yardage.
Don't see that too often.
No, let me change my mind here.
Yeah, I think they got a couple yards on it.
I think it went 4 yards. I think it went from 148 to
Either
the
way,
other 48.
Lincoln is thrilled with that result.
big break for the Cardinal. They have 6:40 to do something here in the first half.
Some confusion on defense, and you can hear them requesting a timeout. Yep, that's their third timeout, all coming here in the second quarter. And
there are players.
Some personnel confusion, you can clearly tell from the Jefferson sideline.
Coach Lillard is really upset, but you can see players yelling at each other.
Yep.
And that's always a bad sign.
And we're just going to keep beating this drum. Lack of practice, especially when some of these players are very young, maybe haven't had a lot of experience in previous years. It's going to take time to get into the flow of this season, and we've said the season isn't very long. So
right. You have players who subs and injuries, and that sometimes the coach will say something like, I want the B package out there, and that'll be a certain number of players and everything, and one of the players is out of the game, or one of the players just been subbed, and he doesn't recognize that he's part of that specific call. That's what happened that time. There was a player out in the field, and Coach Lillard was arguing for him to come off, and he was standing there with his hands out.
A tough ask for everyone involved, and you have to give a lot of credit to the coaching staff of both sides trying to prepare these young men for this ask. Just 2 weeks ago, getting word that they were going to play this game. Here's a handoff to Wilmot. He turns a corner, gets across midfield, up to about the 47-yard line. 5 yards on the carry by Wilmot, second down.
Another fly sweep, and Wilmot just not able to get around the corner to that time.
Positive yardage, second down upcoming. Two receivers on the near side, two in the backfield. They hand it off, trying to find a hole up the middle, powers his way across the 45 up to the 44, and it'll be third down, third and about 3. Franzen with the carry that time.
Cardinal are spreading the ball around the ball carriers. Wilmot, Franzen, Kopetz.
And historically, under Coach Johnson and previously Coach Warren, Lincoln known to run the ball quite often. Got another whistle.
Timeout for the Cardinal.
Lincoln calling their first timeout. So I believe Jefferson is out of timeouts, but Lincoln using their first.
Right, Jefferson had used 2 of them within about 30 seconds of each other. I know Coach Lillard can't be happy about that. We've seen games in the past, you and I have done Lincoln games, where they might have passed a couple of times in a game.
Gives us a moment to tell you about another one of our sponsors. When you look to remodel or upgrade your home, you want to work with a trusted, certified remodeling professional. Homeowners in the Portland metro area have selected Wacker Remodel for over 30 years to provide them with efficient, high-quality craftsmanship for all phases of remodeling. Call Scott Wacker today at 503-539-9650 for a free consultation. Go Cardinal football. Cardinals have the ball on third down. Third and a long 3. Handoff to Wilmot. Escapes a tackle in the backfield. Turns upfield. We have a flag. Looks like he's just shy of the first down marker. We'll see what the flag is here.
That's the fly sweep from the other direction.
Trying it on both sides.
That might be close to the first down. They may have to measure that.
Well, it depends on what the flag is here.
Holding on the Cardinal.
So that'll back things up. We will try again. Third down. And a long third down.
It'll be third down now and almost 10.
So it would have been interesting if they did give him the spot on that last play. I think he was a little bit short, but they certainly were likely to go for it on 4th down.
Now they'll mark it off. There we are. And you're right, it wouldn't have been first down because they spotted it outside, so it's
Yep.
it's 3rd down and 10. 3rd and 11, I mean.
From the 47, back in their own territory. Wilmot in motion. Quarterback drops back, airs it out, a little wobbly on the pass, comes back, and off the fingertips for Lowe. Lowe had the big completion to end the first quarter.
You know, that time Lowe went deep. Ambrose let the ball go. It was just a bit underthrown. Lowe recognized that and came back on the ball and just was about a couple inches short of getting there.
So after that costly penalty, it looks like the Cardinals are going to choose to punt here on 4th down. And you mentioned earlier in the ball game, Paredes punting with that one-hand drop-off.
He's right in front of us. We should be able to see it clear. Holds the ball with one hand and then drops it.
Snap looks good. Kick is end over end, but another ball that goes high in the air takes a bounce inside the 40 and goes out of bounds.
That will be, from the line of scrimmage, that will be a 12-yard kick. Yep, 12 yards on the punt.
So not a big net there on the punt. And Jefferson will start at their own 40-yard line on the near hash mark, going right to left here with 4:34 remaining in the second quarter. They're leading 7-0. 7 points coming in the first quarter. The story of the game thus far, a couple big plays, but overall just a lot of sloppiness, a lot of penalties.
74-yard touchdown run by Demir Collins. The difference in this game for Jefferson.
Snap, handoff. Breaks a few tackles there on the far sideline, now across the 45, and is finally taken down after a 8-yard carry.
Great second effort at that time by the ball carrier to get 8 yards.
I believe it was Trajan Williams on the carry.
Joshi and Brady Kovitz, the tacklers.
Yeah, something about those numbers, the further they get away. On the near sideline, you can see them very clearly, but on the field, it's a different story. Quarterback tries to keep it, gets a couple of yards.
Great penetration on the defense that time. Had Fair before he could make a decision to turn it inside.
3.5 minutes remaining here in the first half. Inaugural game here. PIL action between the Lincoln Cardinals and the Democrats.
We have crowd mics out. You can hear some of the assistant coaches yelling at players.
Low snap, but picked up, and finding a hole up the middle is number 3 for the Demos, up to the 49-yard line, just shy of the first down. That's Demir Collins on the carry. And it'll be 4th and 1. Let's see if Lincoln can come up with a big stop here.
Jefferson Democrats up to the line quickly.
And we see movement on the Lincoln side. I think that's going to be a penalty on the Cardinals.
If it is, it'll be a first down by penalty.
You can see the lineman, number 89, Graham Joshi. If it is indeed a penalty on Lincoln, I think it was on Joshi.
It is.
First and 10 for Jefferson.
First down for the Democrats.
46-yard line.
So a costly penalty. What was going to be perhaps the biggest play of the game thus far, if you're a Lincoln fan looking for that stop. Instead, it'll be first and 10. Handoff up the middle, but runs into trouble. A trio of Lincoln tacklers able to swallow up the ball carrier.
Riley Prince.
One of them, Brady Kopetz.
Collins with the carry, but nowhere to go. A loss of 2 on the play. Second and 12.
We're under 2 minutes. 7-0 Jefferson.
Claps his hands, has the snap, gets it out in the flat on the far side, finds some room, now outside the numbers, but tripped up after the first down. Catch and run up to the 30-yard line. Williams with the nice grab and able to move the chains.
Shoestring tackle that time by the Cardinal. It almost looked like he was going to go all the way.
That was Wilmot preventing what perhaps could have been 6 more points on the board.
Exactly.
For the Democrats.
And we got a penalty. We're coming back. Holding on the Democrats.
I feel like we should just have a soundboard. We got a penalty, just press the button. Save ourselves some breath.
I think you could pretty much close your eyes and do it on every play, because that's about what we've had in this game.
Just over a minute remaining here in the first half. Demos are backed up, so now they're playing against the clock here. Pitch to the near side, gets outside the hash mark, turns up field, up to the 40, and it's Wilmot again. He's doing everything on both sides of the ball for the Cardinals, but not before a big gain there by Collins.
You know, I think if you're going to tackle Collins, you better get your arms around him, because just reaching out with one arm to try to slow him down is not going to work. Jameer Collins had that 74-yard touchdown run early on in the game.
So 3rd and about 5 now for Jefferson. Clock continues to run under 40 seconds. Under pressure, evades the tackle, stays on his feet, still on his feet, and gets inside the 20 and spins, dives, touchdown.
40 yards on the keeper by Fair.
We have a flag at the end of the play, but I think that play is going to stand. And if it does, you have to give Fair a ton of credit. Although we have a flag here towards the line of scrimmage as well. I see 2 now. So this might be coming back. We'll see.
What a play by Fair that time. Eluded probably 7 or 8 of the Cardinal tacklers. But I think this is coming back. I think this is a penalty.
I saw a flag. There's a flag near the end zone. You could see it's just getting picked up now. But there's a flag at about the 37-yard line, which is about where we started. And that one I didn't see initially.
Well, the flag is about at the 37. The line of scrimmage was the 42, 41. Referees are talking.
The way the players are reacting, I think this is against Jefferson. So what would have been a huge play for Fair on the keeper. Looks like it's coming back.
All right, we're looking for the call here. The referee steps forward. Okay, that's what I think he said. Personal foul, blindside block.
Yeah, it looks like there was 2 separate penalties on the play, and you can see Jefferson backing up quite a bit.
There are 2 penalties against the Democrats on the play, a personal foul for a blindside block and an unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah, I think the unsportsmanlike conduct was what we saw at the end zone.
Well, that's it. That turns a 41-yard touchdown run into a 30-yard loss on penalties. Take it all the way back to the 32-yard line of the Democrats. All told, that's a loss on that play of 73 yards. 41 on the touchdown run, 30 more on the penalty, 71 yards.
Well, now after that, if I'm the Democrats, I honestly would just take a knee here, let the clock run out, get to halftime. Not take any chances, trying to do something special here with 22 seconds left.
Right, if there's somebody that should be upset on that play, it's Fair.
Would you say he might think it's not fair?
No, I mean the quarterback's Fair.
No, I know. Well, they're going to run a play, and Fair's under pressure again. He completes up to the 40, and we have more flags. What do you know?
That's a flag on the tackle.
Yeah, there's two separate flags. Could be the same, them just seeing the same thing, however.
Well, we're getting our exercise in the rule book on what penalties are, because we've seen just about all of them.
And the Jefferson sideline disagreeing with me as far as just letting the clock run out.
Personal foul for helmet-to-helmet contact.
So that was helmet-to-helmet against Lincoln.
Right. We've seen a couple of dangerous penalty calls here in the last minute. A blindside block, a helmet-to-helmet hit. And you know, the 30 yards that was marched off on penalties, Jefferson just got it all back.
That's a 15-yard penalty.
So I know we were scheduled to start here at 12:30. We got a little bit of a late start, but still over an hour here in the first half. 12-minute quarters, taking quite a while. And they're going to let the clock run out before snapping the ball.
Just quickly on that, Fair went back. He looked at the sideline like, do you want me to run a play or not? And the coaches were yelling, run a play, run a play. So he stepped up, they snapped the ball. Nobody knew what was going on.
Players are staying on the field, it looks like, but I believe time expired. And that should do it for our first half. Yeah,
I think time expired before they ever snapped the ball.
Exactly. So, well, the biggest takeaway here is kind of what we expected, given the circumstances, given the lack of practice here before the season here in this first game. Both teams struggling with penalties. Was there a timeout called?
You mean there was a timeout before the snap?
I don't know. Players are still on the field. The referee's talking to Jefferson coaches. If anyone called a timeout, it would have been Lincoln.
Right, Jefferson didn't have a timeout.
So I guess we're going to have one more play with triple zeros on the clock, it looks like.
The referee is signaling the clock was running. I'm not sure what they're saying, though, but teams are headed back out for another play.
Jefferson took their final timeout of the first half.
Well, that's surprising because Jefferson, I didn't think, had a timeout.
I didn't think so either. I'm pretty confident they had taken 3 prior in this quarter.
In any event, they'll have to snap the ball here. Fair will take a snap.
They're going to air it out. Oh, big shot in the backfield. And we have more flags. What do you know?
That's going to be a personal foul. And boy, Fair was flattened.
It was Brady Kopetz with the sack, and it looked clean to me. I mean, he was up high on the tackle.
If there is a penalty, it's likely to be enforced in the second half kickoff. Let's see what the call is. Referees are still talking about that. Fair took a big hit from Brady Kopetz.
They're going to pick up the flag.
Yep,
all right, that is officially the first half. Took a while to get there.
There's the horn. It is in the first half. 7-0, Jefferson with a first half lead.
All right, Dave, like I was saying, kind of what we expected. A little bit of sloppiness on both sides, and if you're Lincoln, you got to go into halftime here, and Johnson has got to rally the troops because realistically they could be down by more than one score right now. They got to be pretty happy to keep it within reason.
They could be down by 2 more scores on big plays that did not result in scores for Jefferson, 7-0. Democrats have to be excited that at least they've been moving the ball and playing pretty good on defense. But like you said, as the Lincoln heads to the sidelines to talk about this, they have to be ecstatic they're down 7-0. Well, let me rephrase that. They're not happy they're behind. They're happy they're only behind 7-0.
Absolutely. For the Democrats, it was one big play that led to their touchdown and their 7 points on the board. Overall, both teams mostly keeping things on the ground, but that one big catch and run turning into the score for Jefferson.
On that touchdown run, you want to credit Demir Collins. Great speed. Ran by the linebackers, the cornerbacks in the secondary for a 74-yard touchdown run. And he had a couple of other nice runs. I don't have the official stats, but he's close to 100-yard rushing for the game.
I'd guess just that one play gets him pretty darn close. So we are going to step aside for just a few minutes here on this slightly chilly afternoon, Saturday, bringing you the action here on Oregon Sports Beat. We do want to remind you we will have the second of a doubleheader here from this same field as the Wilson Trojans will be taking on Roosevelt later this afternoon. That'll do it here for the first half. Once again, the score, Jefferson 7, Lincoln Cardinals 0.
So cautious. Right? Yes, that's my message. Like it just, and through athletics, and we'll get to reopen. Like we just have to prove it. And the teachers are nervous, but once they're vaccinated, the second vaccine, we'll be good. I hope so. Fingers crossed.
I know exactly. Frozen fingers today.
I know. Well, I have my football outfit on.
So cute.
But
it's gotta be.
I got my swim coat on top of it, right?
Okay, no, I'll send you that link. Or it might just be the whole. It's too long of a. But I'll send it to you.
It's so cute. I mean, and look at each personality
difference. So sweet.
You can keep them. You can put it up in your basement wall.
For sure.
They're fun.
They are.
Cutouts.
I love that one turned out so sharp.
Right.
Just like So I
Yeah.
wonder if,
The
you know,
quality of your cell phone or whatever you
Yeah.
take the photo with must make a difference.
exactly. But no, I think it was great. And then like $10 of each piece of the cutout goes to the football program.
I love that.
So, and it's a quick turnaround. I think it was literally like
Yeah.
24 hours or something. So,
It's a great idea for
Yeah.
all the sports.
yeah, exactly.
It's like a healthy snack.
I know. It's true. That's so nice of you to come out to the.
Oh my gosh, it's so exciting.
I know.
Just children laughing, young people, young adults. I mean, they're
Exactly.
laughing, they're excited, there's enthusiasm over there. It's so strong. And Brady's getting tons of love.
Oh, yeah.
All of them, Mario.
So, were you paid? Or do you have anyone who's kind of linked into the streaming? I think that's an excellent.
I don't know, that's a Cope, as far as I could tell,
Yeah.
that was Copitz, Prince,
Yeah.
Summers, like all of these.
Great. I mean, just like I forwarded the link to my
Thank
family.
you.
I mean, it's just one of those things. It's like, that would be great for you all, for all the sports
Yes.
year round, for all
Yes.
the,
Yes.
everybody.
I know. It takes Jeff Peeler, also district assistant AD, is trying to do that. And we have an alum who created whatever all the other districts are doing.
Really?
It's not called Miso Works. It's called something like that, though.
Yeah.
And they've offered to donate to PBS for free. So it's just like giving to yes.
Yeah.
There's so much worry about like student privacy and
Yeah.
but we'll get there.
Oh, fantastic.
We'll get there.
I know.
Patience.
Patience.
Yeah, it's good.
No, no.
So fun. Who's announcing? It's really good. To
Oh,
see.
so we had a switch. It was supposed to. This was supposed to have been a home game,
Right.
and then it switched. So I don't know. I think it must be their people. They were so familiar. Is it familiar?
But I don't know why it's.
We initially had Chase Copeland.
Yeah.
I think he was doing it, but I don't know. Anyway, it's all different now. So.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We'll try to figure out who the voice is.
We'll take care and I'll send you that. I'll put a note in here to send you
Yeah,
that.
I'm gonna order one
Yeah.
for somebody.
I know.
Myself, maybe I'll just put me there. But no, it's just such a good idea.
It's so funny. I told Ethan, I said, well, I asked him, I said, who's your favorite player? You know, your profession. Well, I guess it'd have to be Justin Herbert. And I go on there, of course, everything is in his life. And there's no, I'm like, well, I'm going to have to come up with something else.
Yeah. To put your favorite player in as a fan for you. I love that. It's so cute of Ethan.
Yeah.
And we had an Ethan Johnson who was a famous football player a decade ago at Lincoln, 15 years ago.
Oh, really?
And Ethan went to then play Notre Dame and then the NFL, and then only 1 year. But when I saw him, like, Ethan Johnson, it's like, now we have two of them.
Maybe. Wouldn't that be
Yeah.
nice?
Really nice.
I know. It's just it's so great to get back there. I know.
It's so healthy outdoors. I
Yeah.
have no fear about outdoors. Ever since the protests last summer, and I watched that like a microscope.
Yes.
Like, if no cases come out of those protests, then we're safe.
I know.
We should just stop. I really want to have sports in August.
It's just our weather is just not conducive to.
Full outdoor
Yeah.
classrooms, I know.
Yeah.
And then being under construction.
Yeah.
So even if you have tents, the homeless in our region, we have to put up the tents every morning for our staff and take them down every night. And the big tents, it's hard to do. It takes
I
a
know.
long
Well,
time
we've
to
even
set them
got
up.
these are weighted, and we had some nice bus coming through here. And if we didn't have those weights,
Yes.
things would.
Yeah, and you need just 6 of those to make a classroom.
Yeah.
So putting them up is a big deal if you can't leave them up.
Oh.
And then Jesuit apparently put them up in a snowstorm. Toppled.
Oh my gosh.
But that won't happen again.
No. This is
The year.
it's just a weird, rare, once in a lifetime event.
The fires, the protests,
Yeah.
the inauguration.
Oh, I know. It's so true. Okay, it just goes on and on when you really think about it.
Even that, I still think our kids are going to do great.
Yeah.
I mean, the World War II kids came out about is the greatest generation. They now control 80% of the wealth, and they lost 4 years.
It's been forever. You do this or what's cautious? This is better. Come on. Hands are so stinking cold.
Aren't they cute? You want to sit next to one? I'll get your photo there. They're so cute. $10.
I saw the email come down.
I did. It's a fundraiser.
So anything new?
It's a fundraiser, but we got to get 100 of them. Yeah, you should.
Anything new? Same old. Oh, this is first base right here. Feels good. What's up? No, you need to be right up here unless you want to get somebody else to change out with you. So, the remote instant replay stuff. So I mean, you got to get up there and help people. These two guys up here. Yes. 2464. Yep.
What's up, man? Come on, baby. Still moving. Doing well, bro. What up, wrestling?
Nah, we got clones. Oh, yeah. Buildings will be ready, but not then August. I mean, come on. Because by then, everybody that is moving should have their shots.
Just a few moments away here from second half action. Democrats leading the Cardinals 7-0. And Democrats will receive the kickoff from our left.
Teams now have a half of play under their belts. Let's see if maybe sitting at halftime and talking a little bit about execution and those kind of things results maybe a little better played game. I don't mean that this game is poorly played. I mean the execution has not been good. There's been so many penalties.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, penalties were the story of the first half on both sides of the ball. I'm Shane Downey, that's Dave Hall, bringing you all the action here on Oregon Sports Beat.
Only score of the first half, a 74-yard touchdown run by the Democrats, Demir Collins, I'm sorry.
Wilmot back to receive. Here's the kick, line drive kick, it's a good one. Wilmot will let it take a bounce into the end zone for the touchback.
Markel's kick is a touchback, 1st and 10.
I think it's important for the Cardinal to come out here and execute properly, avoid penalties, and see if they can march down the field and tie this game up.
Ball is spotted at the 20-yard line.
So Lincoln will get things started from their own 20-yard line, moving left to right in those white jerseys, red numbers on their backs. First snap of the second half, it's a handoff off the far side edge for about 4 yards.
Jack Franson was the ball carrier.
Franzen with the carry, 2nd and 6.
Ruben Amagata with the tackle.
Some dark clouds above us, hiding the sun at the moment. Wind still whipping around. Another carry up the middle. This time's going to be good enough for a first down and then some. Brady Kopetz with the carry, the power back. The biggest young man on the field for the Cardinals, 6'4", 215.
Gain of 17 on the play. That's the biggest play from scrimmage for the Lincoln Cardinal.
They had that one big pass in the first half, but biggest carry, I believe.
The 50-yard completion.
Here's another carry by the back, and Kopetz gets about 4 yards on first down, 2nd and 6.
You mentioned Kopetz, the biggest player on the field for the Cardinal, and now they're using that bulk to their advantage. Picked up 20 yards on 2 plays.
Second and 6, a little bit of a bobble on the snap, but has his man, but underthrown as Lowe was crossing midfield and thrown behind him.
Nice slant pattern that time by Lowe, just the ball was thrown behind him. Otherwise, it would have been another big pickup for the Cardinal. Third and
6.
3rd and 6.
And we have our first whistle of the second half, as was a pattern in the first half of the ball game.
Referees are talking about this.
Looks like it's going against Lincoln.
Offside against Lincoln. Back it up 5, and now it'll be 3rd down and 12.
Still 3rd down, the ball at the Cardinals.
Couple runs managed to move the chains here to start this second half for the Lincoln Cardinals. An incomplete pass and a penalty now. Backing things up a little bit.
2 carries by Kopetz for 21 yards.
3rd
Now
and
the
long,
penalty.
drops back, throws to his right. It wobbles up there, and it's intercepted. Caleb Harvey with the interception for Jefferson. Plays as a receiver and a defensive back, and has made some catches now on both sides of the ball.
Remember, he missed that long pass in the first half, redeemed himself with a catch, now further redeemed himself with an interception. And that ball was underthrown. Harvey just stepped in front of the receiver and picked it off.
Yeah, that has been a pattern for Mario Ambrose. Unable to get enough power on his throws in some cases. So 1st and 10 for the Democrats. Moving right to left. Handoff. Turns the corner upfield across the 35.
Williams on the ball for Jefferson.
That time Kopetz was at left end, and he got great penetration. The problem was the ball carrier ran right in the spot where he had vacated. Picked up a couple of yards, 6 yards on the carry.
Wilmot in on the tackle after a 6-yard gain for the Democrats. Fair signals for a man in motion. Low snap, handoff, spin, falls forward. Does the ball carrier number 3, Collins, for a few yards.
Graham Joshi with the stop.
3rd down.
3rd down and 3 for Jefferson.
3 yards to go from the far hash mark.
From the demo, 37-yard line.
Third down snap, has a man in the flat. It's caught there, evades the tackler. It's going to be a big gain inside the 40. Wilmot able to wrap him up and get Williams out of bounds.
Wilmot drove him out of bounds. 1st down, Democrats.
But not before a big gain.
37 yards on the completion. Fair.
Democrats move the chains, 1st and 10 up to the 28-yard line.
Trayvon Williams on the completion, 37 yards.
Outside the numbers, running up the sideline is Caleb Harvey. So he was the one that had the interception just a few moments ago and now takes the ball.
Did you see Harvey lined up on the outside on the right? The quarterback wanted him to come in, signaling him to come in. He came in about halfway. Quarterback signaled him again. He moved in a little bit further, and then they run the fly sweep off of that. He was just too far out to run the fly sweep.
But you got to give Fair credit for a play like that when he recognizes that something might be a little off, trying to communicate with his teammates.
The point I was actually trying to make then was Fair saw that and signaled his receiver, come on in a little bit.
So 1st and 10 now from the 14 inside the red zone for the Demos. Fair's going to keep it. Shuffle steps outside the tackle, dives towards the end zone, is dragged down there just shy, about 3 yards outside of the end zone.
1st down yardage.
Trying to make it to the pylon and just missed.
Riley Prince with the tackle.
So all of a sudden, Democrats on a roll, and it'll be 1st and goal from the 3.
What did we say Fair is? He's a junior?
He is, in fact, a junior.
I think he's got great potential.
Stands in the shotgun, claps his hands, has the snap, hands it off into the backfield, and Collins goes right up the gut for his 2nd score of the ball game. This one just 3 yards. And the Democrats made it look easy on that possession as they add on with a touchdown with 7:11 remaining here in the 3rd quarter.
2nd touchdown run of the game. That's a 3-yarder for Demir Collins.
Owen Markell for the point after touchdown.
Markell in for the point after touchdown.
Line drive kick, and it is wide left.
Markell's kick is no good. The score, Democrats 13, Cardinals nothing.
13-0 in favor of the Democrats, as Lincoln has failed to get on the board thus far. They've had some opportunities, some costly turnovers, and that was 6 points on their last turnover, as the Democrats were able to capitalize.
You know, the Democrats have some good skilled people. Williams, Harvey, Collins, Fair.
We'll take this moment to tell you about some of our sponsors. When you want the highest quality meats, seafood, and sandwiches, come into Phil's Meat Market and Delicatessen, Portland's original neighborhood butcher shop located in the Uptown Shopping Center on Northwest 23rd Place in Burnside. When you are making as major a financial decision as buying a home, you want it done with the best. John Bruce of Guild Mortgage has been supporting the Lincoln football community and providing home mortgages for over 20 years. Call him today at 503-635-8997. Go Cardinal football. Make it happen.
Charles Wilmot is the lead man for Lincoln.
So Wilmot will be back to receive the second time thus far here in the third quarter. Another line drive kick. The first one went for a touchback. He's going to try to run this back, but it looked like he stepped into the end zone after making that grab.
He did.
So for the second straight possession, Lincoln will start at their own 20-yard line.
I was watching the sidelines because I heard some yelling going on there, and the line judge was warning the Democrat players to stay behind the yellow. You know, that's a penalty if you get out there outside that box. And he was warning them the last time on the kickoff.
Yeah, there's a yellow line on the sideline.
In fact, that may have been a penalty right there for doing that. He may have enforced a penalty because they're going to re-kick the ball 5 yards further back.
You are absolutely right. So Wilmot might have a chance to run it back after all.
Coach Lillard is signaling to all the players, get back behind that line.
Something you don't see enforced too often.
Exactly.
I mean, you could see plenty of players over it now, and we have another flag.
Same. I think that's the line judge threw that flag again. And is it somebody was lined up offside to start?
I don't think these referees are paid by the hour, but they're certainly
no penalty. They waved it off.
Getting their laundry out on the field. So they're going to wave it off. We'll try again. Third time's a charm.
We've had enough penalties. We don't need some gratis penalties.
All right, kicking off from the 35 now. Wilmot still back to receive. This one doesn't go as deep. Wilmot's going to pick it up at the 25-yard line, running on the far sideline, has some room to work, and is knocked out of bounds at about the 40. So 15 yards on the return, and much better starting field position for the Lincoln Cardinals. Thanks to the penalty, they gain about 20 yards overall.
Exactly. Ball would have started at the 20, is now going to start at the 40, all on the basis of that sideline violation on the part of the Democrats.
Looks like they spotted at the 39 with 6:54 here in the third quarter remaining.
I think Coach Lillard got his point across because all the Democrats now are way off of the yellow line.
And we have another whistle just before the snap. This penalty goes against Lincoln.
Lincoln penalized 5 yards for encroachment. Still first down.
1st and 15 after the encroachment penalty.
1st and 15 at Lincoln 34-yard.
Handoff. Do they get the penalty yards back? Just about, maybe 4 on the carry.
I think it was Wilmot on the carry.
Charles Wilmot, the ball carrier.
Yeah, Wilmot got the ball on the play that was blown dead.
For Jefferson.
So they have gone to him quite a bit so far this evening, or this afternoon, I should say. Wilmot and Franzen getting the bulk of the carries from quarterback Ambrose. All seniors, only 5 seniors on this team. Wilmot in motion. Handoff's going to go up the middle for a short gain. Kopetz up to the 40. It'll be 3rd and long.
3rd and they got back to the original line of scrimmage, so 3rd and 10.
Tackler for Jefferson. 3rd down and 10 for Lincoln.
Inside, Caleb. Inside with these players. There you go.
Out wide has a man, but overthrown, intended for Lowe.
Falls incomplete. 4th down and 10.
It'll be 4th and 10 now.
At the Cardinals. 39-yard line.
Cardinals trailing by 2 scores. They're going to bring out the punt team.
Lowe that time ran a little button hook, and when he came to a stop, the ball was just outside his grasp. Paradis in punt formation.
Sun's starting to peek through the clouds again.
Nate Paradis in punt formation for Lincoln. Trey John Williams is the safety for Jeff.
Williams back to receive.
Better punt.
Definitely the best punt we've seen from the Cardinals so far. And taken down at the 36-yard line after a short gain on the run back, make it 37. And Jefferson will take over, leading 13-0 with 5:15 on the clock remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Dondre Fair Jr. awaits the shotgun, has the snap, handoff. Short gain for number 3, Demir Collins, and that duo has done most of the offensive work thus far for the Democrats.
For Lincoln.
2nd and 7 from the 39. Another handoff, this time trying to get to the outside edge. Flag in the backfield. That came early in the play.
Valley Spinks on the end around. Charles Wilmot with the tackle. There is a penalty marker on this play.
And you're right, that was very early in the play. In fact, it was about at the time the handoff occurred.
Looks like it's going to be against Jefferson.
So when he looked at the exchange then, he must have saw a lineman holding.
10-yard penalty from the spot. We'll repeat second down, but it'll be second and long.
They need to get to the 47 for a first down, and they are at the 27. Need 20 yards for a first down. Fair wants his
They're
players.
communicating.
Exactly, doing a good job too, switching players around.
You can hear that wind has picked up quite a bit. Another quarterback keeper. Dodges around for about 5 yards on the carry.
You know, Fair took that ball that time on a quarterback keeper. It was a design play. As he stepped forward, 2 linemen fell right in front of him. Otherwise, he'd had a much bigger hole and probably a much bigger gain.
Third down, Jefferson at the 29-yard line. 19 yards to the line of game.
Under pressure and is taken down.
Kopetz from the outside on his defensive line position was right on Fair's back and sent him to the ground.
Kopetz immediately putting pressure and finishing the job on Dondre Fair Jr.
Kopetz looks like a defensive end, doesn't he? And very quick.
Made it look good there. And tack on. No, they declined the penalty, excuse me. It's fourth down. There was already a big loss on the play, so don't let them have another down here.
Exactly. Wise decision by Coach Johnson. Need to get to the 47, as I said, and I think they're now at the 17. It's fourth down about 30.
And they're going to keep the offense on the field.
I'm not sure what that means.
Timeout called by Jefferson. So we'll see what they decide to do coming out of the timeout here with 2:41 remaining here in the third quarter. Jefferson leading it 13-0. Lincoln has yet to see any consistency on offense. A couple of costly turnovers, and the last one leading to 6 points for the Democrats.
4th and 30 from the 17. They came out and lined up in an offensive formation. That may be just they were going to shift out of that or something, but certainly they're going to punt, although they've not been very successful punting the ball.
Let's tell you about our friends at Washman. Unlimited transaction-less car washes, only $39.99 per month, with Armor All Tire Shine and Clear Ceramic Seal Ultra Shine and protection. Wash it at Washman. Car washes today. So 4th and long. This could be an opportunity here for Lincoln. They are going to punt it. No, they're going to fake. And he gets it out to that outside edge, but there's such a long way to go. But he evades a few tackles. And is he going to get it? Oh, he is close. Looks like he's going to be short, though. Lincoln are very fortunate.
I'm not sure that that was a fake punt. The ball was snapped almost over his head. He grabbed it, pulled it down, took a look, and almost got to 30 yards. It's going to be very close.
He was close, but they're signaling it is a Lincoln ball, falling about 1.5 yards short by my estimation. So Lincoln fortunate to be getting the ball back here.
4th and 30, you get a high snap, you turn it into a 28-yard gain, back out to midfield. That, you know what? That was better than the punting the ball.
That did work out. So let's see what the Lincoln offense can put together. There's still time to come back in this one. Wilmot in motion. Hand it off to him. But nowhere to go. Maybe a yard on the play.
Jason Davis with the tackle.
Yard and a half. Let's call it 2nd and 8 upcoming from the far hash mark. Lincoln moving left to right now. No rain thus far here in the second half. Did experience some in the first half. Quarterback has a man in the flat. Franzen up to the 42.
So I don't think that was a forward pass. That was a lateral. The running back was behind the quarterback when he threw it back to him.
3rd down for Lincoln at the Jefferson 42-yard line.
3rd and 6.
3rd down and 6.
Lincoln has struggled moving the chains here throughout the day. The pace of this third quarter much quicker than what we saw in the first half. Here's a handoff, and he has some room. That's going to be a first down as he's knocked out of bounds as Kopetz after crossing that first down marker.
But Kopetz just has size on everybody, doesn't he?
That's good
Sure
for
does.
First down Lincoln, the ball at the Jefferson 29-yard line.
Spotted at the 29 and move the chains. See if they can get a playoff here before the end of the third quarter. It looks like they're in no rush. They might just let this clock wind down. And they do indeed. As you hear the horn, that is the end of the third quarter. Lincoln trailing 13-0. But threatening now from the Jefferson 29.
Jefferson 13, Lincoln nothing.
Let's tell you about our friends at Trailblazer Foods. Founded in 1984, Trailblazer Foods is one of the Western United States' largest producers of preserves, jellies, and other sweetener and fruit-based products. Trailblazer Foods wishes Lincoln Cardinal football great success for 2021. Call them today at 503-666-5800 or check them out at www.trailblazerfoods.com. All right, start of the fourth quarter. Lincoln threatening. 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line of the Democrats. Now we'll be moving right to left. We're going to have to fix the clock on the scoreboard as it's running with a minute. Oh, now it stopped. They're going to fix it. There we go. 12 minutes on the clock.
The difference in this game, 2 touchdown runs by Jameer Collins, one of 74 yards, one of 3 yards.
Quarterback under center and in motion. Handoff, gets to the near side, turns. We have a flag on the play.
Low on the carry on the sweep, and that's no gain, I believe.
Stayed on his feet for a long time, but didn't move forward.
Counts running north to south, not east to west.
Don't see a signal for the penalty just yet.
It's going to be against the
Personal
Cardinals.
foul on the Cardinals.
Lincoln penalized 10 yards for holding, 10 yards from the spot of the foul, and moves the ball back to the Jefferson 34-yard.
Holding was the call.
35.
I saw the hand signal. I thought I heard him say personal foul though, but not exactly mic'd up like you see at some higher levels. First handoff to Wilmot. He stumbles a little bit. Gets maybe 2 yards on the carry.
I think Wilmot wanted to turn it upfield before that and stumbled just a little bit. Forced him to the outside. No gain on the play. Cardinal player down.
So our first injury timeout of the ball game. Hope it's nothing too serious. With the player on his back, can't quite pinpoint who it is. We'll take this moment to tell you about some more of our sponsors. When you look to remodel or upgrade your home, you want to work with a trusted, certified remodeling professional. Homeowners in the Portland metro area have selected Wacker Remodel for over 30 years to provide them with efficient, high-quality craftsmanship for all phases of remodeling. Call Scott Wacker today at 503-539-9650 for a free consultation. Go Cardinal football.
Still not able to figure out who that player is that's down. The trainer is over him. Looks like getting up. Might be, I think it's Wilmot.
I think it's Wilmot, yep. And he's going to be helped off the field. And just based on how gingerly he's coming off the field, you have to think his day might be done.
You know, you mentioned, and I followed you up on that, he did stumble as he was trying to turn the corner.
Clearly not putting any weight on that left leg. So that's a big blow to both sides of the field, quite frankly, for the Lincoln Cardinals.
Clock starts, 11:33 left to go in the game.
So now it'll be up to the likes of Ambrose, Kopetz, and Franzen. A little bit of Justice Lowe in there as well. Those are the players we've seen get most of the action for the Lincoln offense. And Lincoln's under pressure and throws it away, incomplete.
Ambrose did a good job that time of just getting the ball away. He was going to be sacked for a loss of about 10.
Yeah, he prevented a big loss by letting go of that ball.
Downey and Myrick bringing the pressure for the Democrats. Third down, 16 for Lincoln.
Third and long, third and about 16 for the Lincoln Cardinals, who just lost perhaps their best offensive player to injury. Ambrose under center. And we see a lot of movement there. Lineman getting pushed down, but we'll see who moved first.
I thought the penalty was going to be on the Democrats, and it looks like it is.
Yeah, it looks like the players are reacting that way. No official signal just yet. And now both teams are backing up. It is on the Democrats.
Jefferson penalized 5 yards for the
Referee was going to march it off against the Cardinals, and now it's the Democrats.
Now third down and 11.
Ambrose went with a hard count that time on the early signal, and a couple of Democrat players jumped off sides. Back to the original line of scrimmage, 3rd and 10.
You could see there's a gathering outside of the fence on the far side of the field. Not sure if the cameras are picking that up as we have another flag here, but perhaps some friends and family watching this game from afar and now starting to get vocal a little bit. So
Start penalty against the Cardinals.
not allowed
yards. Moves it
inside
back
the
to
stadium
35
technically,
yard
but
line.
still taking a
Third
view.
down and 16 for the Cardinals.
Now we're going to march that 5 back the other way. So it was 3rd and 10. Now it's back to 3rd and 15, I believe. Yeah, 3rd and 15.
Well, the pace overall in the third quarter was much quicker than what we saw in the first half, but now this fourth quarter is taking notes from what we saw initially. Here's the snap. And incomplete off the fingertips of Lowe. I could hear from the near sideline somebody yelling timeout, timeout, but they did not.
A couple of the
Give them to
Jefferson defensive coaches thought the players were not lined up right, and he was yelling at them, and they had not moved. And I think somebody was trying to yell timeout. Referees didn't hear it. It's 4th and 16.
Cardinals keep their offense on the field. 4th and long. And we have a whistle, timeout by Lincoln now.
You know, in the old days, I can remember we used to hang a microphone outside the press box, and that was our crowd mics. Now we can actually get microphones almost down on the field, and so you can hear players and coaches yelling and things like that, and it's really a great addition to the game.
Absolutely. I know we talked a little bit earlier about how Major League Baseball is planning on allowing fans in most, if not all, games to start the season. I know you and I watched a lot of baseball last season, and of course there were not any fans. How did you feel about the crowd noise that they would pump into those games?
I thought that was awful.
I think some of the players agreed with you. I think I got used to it over time. So 4th and long upcoming after a few penalties. Pace down to a crawl here in the fourth quarter. Lincoln needs a big play to stay in the ball game. They're down 2 scores. Ambrose under center. Man in motion coming back now. He rolls right, has a man deep. And is it intercepted? It may have been. No, they're calling it incomplete. Must have hit the ground, but nonetheless, the Ambrose pass was short. He had Lowe downfield.
Lowe was running an out pattern and turned it toward the pylon, and he was open. They just couldn't get the ball downfield to him. Ambrose was under pressure. And the Democrats will take over on downs, 1st and 10, 13-0, 10-16 left to go in the game. Boy, lots of confusion going on.
Yeah, we have seen consistently Jefferson have some personnel confusion. Handoff out of the backfield. Gets outside the numbers, turns upfield 50-40 and dragged out of bounds. Collins with the carry. In on the tackle was number 32, Gus Togney.
Jefferson was trying to adjust 2 receivers out far to the right to block on that play. And they were not out far enough, and the coaches were yelling at him. They did get the ball to Collins, and then those receivers did make good blocks on the outside, get Collins up to the 40-yard line.
We have a whistle.
I don't think it's a penalty. I think
it's not a penalty. They're just
referees are just trying to figure out something.
They signal we're ready to go. Another handoff. trying to go up the middle, runs into a trio of defenders. Does Collins out of the backfield.
And quickly, the Democrats are going to get set to run a play. Well, no, now they're going to go back and huddle.
They slow things down. It'll be 2nd and 7. Overthrown. Intended for number 14, Demarion Morris.
Intended for Demarion Morris. Played 3rd down, coming up for the Demos.
9:06 remaining here in the 4th quarter.
Third and 7 for Jefferson at the Lincoln 37-yard line.
Clouds still covering up the sun for the most part. As we play in the shade here. Pitch out to the left side. Near the 1st down marker is Collins. Looks like he's about a yard short with 4th down upcoming.
Collins is over 100-yard rushings for the game.
4th down and 1 for Jeff at the Cardinals. 41-yard.
4th and 1, Jeff will go for it.
Jefferson, most likely at this point, just want to keep the ball on the ground, continue to milk the clock, not allow Lincoln to come back. Another handoff. Fighting for it was Collins, but that's a stop, and that's a turnover on downs. Lincoln defense comes up with a key stop to stay into the ball game.
The initial hit and a big hit was by Kopetz. Stopped the ball carrier, allowed help to come up and get the ball carrier down.
Cardinals with a recovery.
Cardinals take over on downs. 1st and 10, 8-10 left to go in this game. They trailed 13-0.
So Cardinals will have a chance with just over 8 minutes remaining in the ball game, trailing by 2 scores.
Kusha Moore Shine with the fumble recovery for the Cardinals.
I assume Charles Wilmot is done for the day. Trying to keep an eye out just in case. But don't see him on the field.
Maybe.
Looks like he's getting worked on the sideline. And the ball is out. Looks like Lincoln might have got it, but Jefferson's signaling.
Cardinal, I think, keep the ball.
So a loss on the play. Kopetz unable to handle the transfer, but does recover.
We have a different quarterback in the game for the Cardinal. Number 10, I believe.
That's Carson Wacker. Just a sophomore. Getting some experience here in game 1 of this season. Another handoff for no gain.
Kopetz on the carry that time stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
As the wind picks up yet again. Under 7.5 minutes remaining. 3rd and long for the Lincoln Cardinals, who have gone backwards thus far here in this possession.
Third down and 17 at the 25-yard line of Lincoln.
Wacker under center. Handoff. Getting to the outside edge. Tries to turn upfield, gets across the 30. It does low near the original line of scrimmage, but it'll be 4th down, 4th and 10.
Sean Campbell, the first tackler for Jefferson.
Now they don't have too much to lose by going for it here. We'll see what Coach Johnson decides to do.
Ambrose is still in the game. He's playing out a wide receiver, so substitution is the quarterback, but Ambrose remains in the game, number 9.
Yep, you're absolutely right. He's on the far side of the field with Lowe. The receivers split out. Pass is caught. Has some room to run, but is going to fall short of the first down. That'll be a turnover on downs. Little catch and run for Franzen. And the Democrats will take over with just over 6 minutes. And it looks like there's a Lincoln player down on the field. Oh, he gets helped up.
Ball is at the Lincoln 38-yard line. The Democrats take over.
I believe that was Franzen. May have been a little shaken up on that tackle. I suspected that the Democrats would continue to run the ball, try to milk the clock here to end this ball game. We'll see what they decide to do. Run up the middle for a short gain. Collins continues to get the bulk of the carries for the Democrats.
There is a penalty marker on the play. Curtis made the stop.
But there is a flag on the play, holding on the offense.
Jefferson penalized 10 yards from the spot.
Back it up 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Clock continues to run now within 6 minutes.
Still first down. The ball is at the Lincoln 46-yard line.
Looked like Fair might have lost control of the ball there briefly, and it's intercepted by the Cardinals. Running it back on the far sideline. Ball comes loose, but not before he stepped out of bounds. I believe that was Solomon Wells with the pick. And not so fast. Maybe the Lincoln Cardinals have life here with just over 5 minutes remaining.
Cardinals need to put something together on offense now, get a score.
And I'm sure you heard me, Dave. I mentioned it would probably be wise for the Democrats to keep the ball on the ground for the remainder of the game.
Exactly.
But they decide to throw, and it does prove to be costly here. As the wind has continued to pick up here. Not only is it chilly, but there's some tents and things in the stands that are starting to topple over. First and 10 now. Lincoln with the shot, still trailing by 2 scores. And we have a timeout called by the Lincoln Cardinals.
Timeout, Lincoln.
Plenty of time left for the Cardinals to put this together. 5:18, they're down 2 scores. I'm sorry, 13-10.
So head coach Jeremy Johnson trying to come up with something here with 5 minutes remaining to try to come back. It was scoreless in the first quarter. Democrats got on the board in the second with 7 points, adding 6 here in the second half.
Both of those touchdowns coming on runs by Jameer Collins, 74 yards in the first quarter, 3 yards in the third quarter.
Collins has had an excellent game overall.
Hey, everybody wait. JB, let's go this way.
Lincoln just intercepted the ball. Here's the first play since that turnover.
Brady Kopitz.
Kopetz up the middle for 5 yards.
Jason Davis with the stop.
Second down. Man in motion. Another handoff out of the backfield. Close to the first down marker is Kopetz.
Wacker stays in a quarterback.
Third and inches.
And that's Ambrose split out far to the left, low inside of him.
So if you're just joining us, Ambrose started at quarterback and now playing wide receiver on the last 2 possessions, with the sophomore Wacker coming in to play quarterback under center. Now the ball is loose. It's on the ground for quite some time. And Jefferson signaling that they recovered.
You know, Shane, Wacker never had the ball. As he stepped back, the ball was still on the ground. So there was a problem with the exchange between the center and the quarterback.
It looks like it is, in fact, Jefferson ball. No.
No, it's
Strike
still.
that. Lincoln looks like they may have maintained possession. He stopped the clock at 3:45, and now they signal to run the clock. And it will be Lincoln ball.
Fourth down.
Fourth down.
That was
And the ball is loose again, but I think they might have recovered. Well, where I saw the ball and the elbow, once the ball was recovered by Kopak, I thought it was a first down. But based on the spot, it's going to be very close.
And that was another problem with the exchange between the center and the quarterback, because as Wacker stepped back, the ball was already out of his hand.
I mean, based on the spot, looks like a first down to me, but they're going to measure it.
Our first measurement of the game.
With 3:20 remaining here in the fourth quarter.
I'm not quite sure why half of the Jefferson players are down here near the end zone, what they're actually doing.
Yes, it is first down, and I saw a Jefferson player who had a clear look at the measurement signaling that it was Jefferson ball, but it was clear to me that it was the other way around. But it is going to be first down. Lincoln's offense stays on the field. And you can hear the Jefferson coaches saying behind the yellow, as they have been penalized for that, and it turned out to be a costly penalty earlier in the ballgame.
Exactly.
Quarterback under center, drops back, looks over the middle, now under pressure, evades a tackler, stays on his feet, throws across his body, and has his man. It's caught for a first down and more inside the 40. That was low on the catch and run, and give a lot of credit to Carson Wacker for staying on his feet and making a play.
Under great pressure, rolling to the right, got a couple of hands on him there and still managed to get the play off and complete it to Lowe. This may be the deepest penetration of the game so far for the Lincoln Cardinal offense.
Still trailing by 2 scores, 2.5 minutes remaining. Handoff going up the middle for a short gain to Kopetz.
The Jefferson coaches had taken half the players down toward the end zone. I think it was just trying to get them away from the yellow line because it's still got players who are close to getting another call.
They're scattered all over the sideline. Lincoln offense not particularly rushed at the moment. May just be looking to get a score to get on the board for a moral victory, if you will. And that pass is incomplete as he takes a shot at the end of the play. Does Wacker, looking for a flag, doesn't get it.
It's hard to get anything on the ball when you're shuffling your feet backwards. Wacker was under pressure, got pushed, let the ball go, but it was well short of the receiver.
So third down. The scoreboard has stopped updating down and distance, it seems. Third and about 7. Wacker drops back, completes the pass, and out of bounds, short of the first down, is Franzen by about 4 yards. You know, it's the first game for everyone. Scoreboard operator, us, the players,
referees.
Oh yeah.
Fourth down, if the Cardinals are going to get on the board, they need a play right here, 4th and about 4.
Trying to stay alive. That's 1:35 on the clock. Wacker drops it back under pressure, has a completion on the sideline, but that's not going to be enough. And the Democrats will take over on downs. And that will do it for the Lincoln Cardinals, unable to get on the board and shut out in their first game of the season, most likely. I suppose anything can happen with 1:27 on the clock.
I don't think the Democrats are going to throw the ball.
I wouldn't think so. I didn't think they were going to throw it in their last possession.
Exactly. .127 left to go in this one, 13-0. First game for each of these teams this season. Democrats trying to get a shutout.
You can hear some celebrating on the Jefferson sideline. Certainly happy with their performance overall, but especially their defensive performance here tonight to hold Lincoln to 0. Collins with the run, as we've seen throughout the day.
Kind of fitting at the end of the game here to have Demir Collins carry the ball. He has the 2 scores in this game.
We'll probably see 2 more runs before time runs out. Here's the snap. They do indeed keep it on the ground. Another short gain, short of the first down. And I believe that might be the final play of the ball game.
Democrats don't have to run a play. 20 seconds left to go here in the game.
So they will most likely just let the clock run out, and the final score will be 13-0 in favor of the Democrats. And that's going to do it. Democrats take the first game of this 2020-2021 season. Not sure what we're calling it. Spring football, game 1 in the books for these two teams. Democrats 1-0. Lincoln had a rough go at it. They are 0-1, and we'll have to check on the injury status of one of their star players, Charles Wilmot, who went down in the fourth quarter. We hope that young man's okay.
You know, if you take anything away from this game, it's this. Both these teams need more practice.
I think you could probably say that about every team in the state right now, as they are playing these games under unique circumstances, to say the least.
Want to remind everybody, stick around. 4 o'clock start time. We're going to bring you the second game of this doubleheader here at Wilson High School. It'll be the Wilson Trojans and the Roosevelt Rough Riders.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us here for Lincoln Cardinal football here on Oregon Sports Beat. For Dave Hall, I'm Shane Downey. Once again, the final score, Democrats 13, Lincoln 0.
sagging. Pick up this trash.
Chip do? I'll ask Matt. I'll be back.
Bro, has anybody seen Cam sit?
Check.
my babysitter. Remember that? Hold into the couch.
Nigga, on Jesus Christ. On Jesus Christ. What's your man not dominating? Just show the clip. Just show the clip. Did you not get window for game? Hit it. Hit it. Look at him. Go to work, bro. Go to work, bro. And you want to talk about that? You want to talk about that? Keyshawn, you act like I hit the middle of the flat. J-Box? For real.
Hey,
Swung and I said, like, it was just a reflex. And everybody was like, you hit it, go! You hit it, go! And I got pressed and I had to switch. Chucky trying to get away from me, bro. Nigga is not slick. He said, fuck, I'm stuck. If I'm dead, this nigga. You sleep with that in your room, nigga, you're crazy. I'll put that nigga on top of the fridge. And wedge a wood thing in front of my door.
Let's go defense.
He said, hold on. Hey, this a loss. I'll put that my logo. I'm gonna wake up, that nigga gonna be like, I'm sucking on the door. Yeah. Until that nigga, you remember it was in that they put in the kitchen? Dumbass had gloves in it. What? He just said that we're going to know. He put it up. He said to put it right there, like during the play. Hey, where the donuts go? Huh? Chuck has it. up, Jeff.